It is a path of courage. The path of yoga is the path of courage. Nayam Atma Balahine Labhya. This self cannot be found by a weakling. This self cannot be found by a weakling. It is a part of virya, valor, and virility and strength. It is a part of self-conquest. So, of the how many quadrillion translations of the Gayatri mantra? Let's do one. We'll look at the mantra translation from two levels. Just 1 minute more. There are two kinds of relationships between the devotee and the deity. There are two kinds of relationships between the devotee and the deity. One relationship is that I love my deity, I love my God. There are three different factors: I, her or him, it, and the love, the process, an energy flowing to and fro. Right? But the other relationship, that is a much deeper relationship, is that I do not know where I end and where the deity begins, and where the deity ends and I begin. That is the deeper relationship. It's no more a relationship but an identification. I and my Father are one. The same applies to samadhi. Meditation. In the lower levels of samadhi, the object concentrated upon, the concentrator, and the process of concentration are three alternating substances, as it were, factors, elements. In the higher samadhi, the object concentrated upon, the process of concentration, and the concentrator become one. And there is no distinction. The three cannot be known apart. Alright? Here in the Gayatri we say, ordinarily the translation that you have heard is simple translation. Alright, let us write Tat. Tat, deity, Tat. Deity, Tat. That. That. Alright. That, what is that? When we use the word, when we use the pronoun that, if we are in the world of duality, you understand? It has one meaning. But when you are in the world of unity, it has a different meaning. When you have mastered the meaning of the great Vedantic Mahavakya, the great sentence, Tattvamasi, that thou art, then the word that does not refer to something over there, it refers to me. Because I am that. Do you understand? Then the that is not something over there, something distant, something apart. But here, at this stage, that is not the case with us. So the word tat, that, which is distant present beyond the reach of my body, speech, and mind. That. The word that here means at this present level of individuated dual consciousness, at this time where I find myself trapped into the realm of duality, avang manogamyam, that which is at present beyond the reach of my body, speech, and mind, of which I think of as something distant in the orb of the sun, the solar being. Remember that Christ is being referred to as the sun, because he was a master of solar science. Only a master of solar science can change water into wine. In India, they don't change water into wine. They change water into milk normally. Because it's traditionally a non-alcoholic culture. Well, where they drink wine, it's okay, I'll change it into wine. Understand the meaning of the word that? Savituh. Savituh. V-I-T-U-H. Dot underneath. Savituh. Dot under H. Okay. Savituh. When you are reciting the Gayatri, you say Tat Savitur Varenyam. Okay, but there are certain rules in Sanskrit language where the words, like in French, okay, coming in association with another sound, change the sound, understand? Follow? So, Savituh, Savitur or Savituh, of, please write, of Savitri, of Savitri, S-A-V-I-T-R, not T-R, T-R, only T-R, not I, S-A-V-I-T-R, write again, S-A-V-I-T-R, yeah, cut out what you've written, cut out the whole thing, cut out S-A-V-I-T-R. T-R and dot underneath the R. That's the vowel R. Savitri. Savitri. The sun. Of the sun. The word Savitri, the sun, means one who gives birth. One who gives birth. For all things are born from the sun. Without the solar warmth, nothing exists. Just as without the warmth of the external sun, no living bodies can exist. So without the life force of the internal sun, the living bodies cannot have the life. Please understand, whatever terms you are used to in the exterior world, they have a different meaning in the interior world. And the two meanings are simultaneous and interposed upon each other. Just as the left eye without the right eye cannot see the complete picture, just as the right eye without the left eye cannot see the complete picture, just as the left ear without the right ear cannot give you your complete balance, Just as little wires in the right ear without the wires in the left ear cannot give you your complete ear. So the exterior meanings of words referring to exterior objects, cannot convey the complete meaning without the corresponding interior meaning. You have to change your entire usage of language if you want to make spiritual progress. You are bound to language at this time. You are bound to a world of words. But you have a certain mode of association with words. And you do not know that the exterior and the interior are one and the same, that there flows a current between the exterior forces and the interior forces that unifies them. And until every word that you use begins to reflect this unity of the exterior and the interior, you will be bound to the exterior forms and never will really embark on this pilgrimage through the interior universes. Examine your use of language. A word that is a particle of God. Understand? My father and my mother lay in their bed at 4 a.m. And my father woke my mother, or my mother woke my father and said, "I had the strangest dream." Huh? I had the strangest dream, the other one said. Both of them dreamt simultaneously that a luminous figure in orange robes appeared and said, "Why are you wasting your time? Why do you not begin the practice of Gayatri?" And they did that practice for years and years and years till my mother conceived me, and did that during her pregnancy. And it is the grace granted from that, from their practice, that I never had to go to a school. A dumb illiterate. You know that? I've never been to a school in my whole life. I've never had a tutor in any subject. Mother Gayatri taught my mother. And whatever came to me was passed on as a fetus. Someone just asked me a question, can I do Gayatri as preparation for pregnancy? By all means, do it. And if you do Gayatri for 7 years and then conceive, your child will not have to go to school. Even if you do 5 malas of Gayatri for 7 years, every day, you will have a divinely inspired child. How to? Okay, when you do, you can decide on the level of tapas. You know the word tapas? ascetic intentness and do what is feasible, what is within your power, what is with agreement of all those who are around you, not agreement extorted by force or blackmail, but happiness of those all around you. The unhappiness of those around you can destroy all your merit. Happiness of those around you is greater asceticism than renunciation. Those of you who are married, or those who live in the world, and those who have families, remember this. Happiness of those around you is greater asceticism than renouncing and sitting in a cave or taking the vows of celibacy or what have you. If it is indeed that their happiness motivates you and not your pleasure, and when their pleasure becomes your pleasure, that means you no longer indulge in karma. When your senses become a dedication, when your senses become a dedication, whatever you do is pure. Many who rise to great heights of philosophy speak of solitude, apt in apparent renunciation, but have not developed empathy, compassion, the art of giving pleasure unselfishly without personal motive, have a longer journey, much longer journey than those who have made their bodies and their senses a dedication. That is a very subtle art. It's very easy to act a saint to oneself and say, oh, I do this for his pleasure, or I do that for her sake. It's a long way. The true unselfishness is a long way off. Of the Son, the one who gives birth, the one who impels, the one who inspires. All right? The one who is the fundament in which the evolution of all beings takes place. So we do off that one, of the Savitri. Varenium. Beautiful. Varenium. Beautiful. Worthy of choice. That is to say, that if there is a choice between something else and that beauty, then you choose that beauty. I have written someplace, Tantra is the art of appreciation and worship of beauty, not the beautiful. Beautiful are gross objects that conceal the beauty. All the objects of the world are opaque. They hide beauty. Only a little seeps through to the surface. And we are often satisfied with that. Transparent beauty of crystal-like purity is very rare. Varenium, beautiful, worthy of choice, so that when you are facing a worldly choice and the choice of the love of God, you choose the latter, hence Varenium. The one whom you choose, how do you choose? What is the process of choosing? By accepting the discipline, the word Varenium. By accepting the role of a worshipper is worthy of choice because when you have resorted to him, accepted him, then all your sorrows, all your hungers, all your cravings begin to vanish. Birth, death, rebirth, hunger, thirst, sorrow, all of these waves that arise in the ocean of your existence. He, when chosen, is capable of eliminating, eradicating, removing from their very root cause these sorrows and these hungers, and therefore worthy of choice. We should spend some time over the next few weeks taking each word and what I am telling you about the word, contemplating that till you reach a point where the moment you utter the word in your prayer, all of those associated thoughts, immediately all of them at all the different levels present themselves to you. You follow? Even before you embark now on the self-purification festival, this time, somebody said, when you want to start a self-purification festival in April now. What I would like you to do is spend this time contemplating May and June. You take these words, these explanations, who, what did he say about who? Whoa. How was it explained? Swaha. What was meant? What was this practice? What was Savitru? Then word by word, okay? Spend a week studying each word. Spend 3 days or 4 days studying each word, absorbing it. Till the moment you utter the word, in your recitation, all of those associations are present there. Understand? That is called contemplation. Contemplate. Spend the time contemplating the meaning of Gayatri over the next 2 months. Then when you will do the self-purification, you will have such pleasure because the words will arise from a depth of feeling. All right, you want to do that? Varenyam, the one who should be our refuge. Because he is the refuge and the substratum of the whole universe. That beautiful refuge is lovely choice. Is worthy of choice because he is the most beautiful one. Why is he the most beautiful one? Because he is the principle of beauty himself. The question was asked if there is a relationship between Gayatri Mantra and Saundarya Lahari. Actually, when I announced this seminar, my thought was to work on that connection. I don't know, tomorrow maybe we have time, we'll get to it. Are you absorbing? Varenyam? On Savitru we have said enough. What do we mean by the solar orb? Varenyam, beautiful. Bhargaha. Please write. Bhargaha. Bhargaha, B-H-A-R-G-A-H. G-A-H. Then a dot in the name. Bhargaha. No, I'm sorry. B-H-A-R. Please cross it out. B-H-A-R-G-A-H. Bhargaha. Bhargaha. Bhargaha is a key word. Very important word. It's one of the most powerful words in the entire Gayatri Mantra. Bharga is the light, Bharga is the brilliance, Bharga is the splendor. It is said that, okay, we spoke of the Agniloka, Surya-loka, Chandra-loka, right? The world of fire, world of the sun, world of the moon. But once again, this distinction exists only because we are used to these vertical and horizontal planes. In the ultimate experience, there are no vertical or horizontal planes. Even when you transcend from wakefulness to sleep, you're lying horizontal, but in your consciousness walking about vertical. There is an image of a palace in your mind. And you tilt and lie down, but the palace remains straight. you're turning on your side, the palace doesn't turn. So that it is said that the moon world, the Chandraloka, exists in the center of the solar world. Solar world exists in the center of the fire world. Red, blue and white. In the Chakra seminar, I read to you from Dante of the red, blue and white light. Lalla, the great woman, saint and poetess of Kashmir, has sung songs in the praise of the red, blue and white circle of light. When I've spoken of the image of the Mother Deity as red in the morning, blue at midday, white in the evening, it is actually a process of ascent and merger. The red merges in the blue merges in the white, and then all colors see only a clear crystal remains. Only a clear crystal remains. So, Bharga is the light of the Agniloka, the light of the world of fire, the light of the Suryaloka, the light of the solar world, and Chandraloka, the light of the lunar world. The light that you experience in Bhu world, the light that you experience as you ascend in the world of chakras, and the nature of that light changes. So the light that you experience in the Bhuva world, and then as you ascend in your spiritual pilgrimage up the mountain, the light that you experience in the Swa world. All of those three lights expressed by a single word, because the goal is that the red, blue and white should merge and become one light. But only a crystalline point may remain. You understand? When we speak of the progenitor, preserver, dissolver, the progeny occurs from the world below the heart. Is sustained by these middle centers. And when you raise your consciousness into the divine presence, it is all dissolved. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Those who are used to reading mythologies, they always think of stories out there. But again, you must change your perception of language. You must understand what interior force, what interior process is being referred to. So Bharga is that principle of light, light of the three levels of meditation that comes by three different graces of the Mother Gayatri. The word bha means that which causes fear. Don't be scared. That which causes fear. Bharga. Okay, write it differently now. Please write bha, B-H-A. Second line R, and then go, G-A. Good. That's it. Bharga. The word bha, one who causes fear. Many people have experienced fear in meditation. If you would look at some of the Tibetan tankas, you would see these fearsome guardians of the gates. Or sometimes in the European cathedrals also, mythical creatures standing guard. What are these guardians of the gates in the chakra system? That until you purify yourself further, you can't enter. Give the password. Only then you can enter. Otherwise you will burn. Understand the word? Understand? So the fear, when the fear occurs, it means that further purification of your life is necessary for you to make the breakthrough. And only then your psychic guard will open the gate and you will go into the next interior chamber. There are many chambers in my father's house, he says. And progression from the exterior chambers to the interior chambers, if you are using a horizontal imagery, or progression from the lower chambers to the higher chambers, if you choose to use vertical imagery, both are equally ineffective. Until all of those horizontal lines and vertical lines are brought together into a yantra, and the yantra contracts into a single point. Follow? Get the principle? The lines of a yantra are expansions from a single point in the process of creation. They are a dissolving of all the lines of energy into a single point in the process of dissolution. All that you are expanding out of the central point of your being must all be contracted back into that single point, and then you become Shiva, the dissolver. And the three lights, the light of the fire world, the solar world, and the lunar world, But the word bha also means that which illuminates. When you have prepared yourself, then the same one that was blocking your way because you were not prepared, the same one now illuminates you. This word bha, the syllable bha in bharga, first the principle of spiritual fear, the hesitation you have on the path, and then the illumination after that, when you have purified yourself, when you have reduced the opaqueness of your mind. The mind has become opaque. The mind has become opaque because it has identified itself with things that are opaque and hiding the beauty. All the things that you consider beautiful are actually things so solidly opaque that they are concealing the principle of beauty, and only the tiniest bit of the lines of beauty is emerging. And that tiniest bit that emerges and makes a break through the opaqueness of the material object is even so dazzling that it is loved as a diamond and honored as a ruby, or attracts like an eye. And if you could remove that opaqueness, then you have the simple principle of beauty. She is the goddess of the universe. Beautiful. She is not the beautiful one. She is the principle called beauty. She has 1,000 names. Beauty has 1,000 names. Opaqueness of your mind causes fear. When you have reduced the opaqueness, then the same very light illuminates. And that is, both of these processes are inherent in the word bha. The sound R, R. Has two meanings. The giver. The giver. One who grants grace. When the Mother Beauty, one of whose name is Tripura Sundari, here we've been talking of three words, no? She's called Tripura Sundari. Tri means three. Pura is the word from which your English, Greek or English word polis is derived. Tripura, tripolis. Sundari, beauty. The beauty of the three words, Miss Three Universes. That's her name. Not Miss Universe, Miss Three Universes. Okay? What are the three universes whose beauty is thus celebrated? Who which we have explained. As the Trinity is within you. Okay. So, love. sound ra in the word bharga. I got all these notes. I'm on page 2 of my notes. Part of me wants to go silent. Part of me gets sad that we can pass on so little. She who grants everything that is granted to you is by that beauty. Your very form is granted by that principle of beauty. Every object that you surround yourself with is a grant of grace. Every stone and every blossom are granting the grant of innumerable boons to you. And this principle of beauty is so totally one and undivided that you will not understand my next sentence. That when you pluck a single petal from a rose, something happens in the entire universe. Leave alone when you kill a creature. Leave alone when you kill a creature. When you pluck a single petal from a rose, its pulsation and its reverberation sends some kind of a cry through all the universe. And that reverberates, boomerangs, and returns to you, and someday, somewhere, you find yourself sighing. All your sighs of sadness are echoes of the sighs that you have created in the universe. Till you see this habit of creating sighs in the universe, there is no end to your sighing. That is why the first principle in spirituality is to walk gentle. If the mother's beauty drops her petals of her own accord, my wife will tell you how sentimental I become when I see petals dropped on the ground. Now my mother has given me some gift. You can ask her. She gives. But she drops of her own accord. You accept. It is gesture of love. Like you expect your baby, you accept your baby's smile. Can you imagine plucking a smile from those lips? How can you pluck a petal from a rose? Don't do that. you pluck a petal from a rose, something changes in the formation of a distant star after. If you don't believe me, the modern advanced physics will tell you that too. Only thing is that physics does not relate it to life. Metaphysics does. That's the only difference. When you relate physics, principles of physics, that is your understanding of the beautiful symmetry of the universe, to life it becomes metaphysics. Otherwise there is no difference between the principles of physics and metaphysics. The ultimate art is the art of life, which means living within the awareness and consciousness of her whose name is Mother Beauty. This is not the path for the ascetic, it is the path for the sensitive. Bharga, one who gives, one who grants of her beauty. And she who colors. I have often spoken of the word, about the word raga. She who colors. She who colors, I will not go over the explanation I have in the past given you of the words raga and vairagya, dispassion. Please write the words down, however. Raga, R-A-G-A. You can write in the right-hand column separate. Raga. Dash on the first A. Raga. And the underneath that. Vairagya. V-A-I-R-A-G-Y-A dash, no, on R-A, A that is after R, Vairagya, dispassion. There is a discussion of this word also in my commentary on the Yoga Sutras. So I will not give that explanation here. What is available elsewhere can be studied elsewhere. She who attracts and she who colors. She not only gives form, but also gives color. What is color? What is color? In the interior subtle body, mental world, spiritual world, there are many different natures of light. These different natures of light are perceived by the mind as colors. Once again, I'm not talking of the objective world. Please change the meaning of your words. Begin to think in spiritual terminology. Use those words in the ordinary language. The people will hear what they normally hear, but you will know what you are saying. So she gives color. That is, light emanate from her, just as all the forms emanate from her. So when she, her, illuminates, she also colors. And the illuminations are of many colors. So that the interior light is perceived as many different kinds of colors. And because we have these colors within ourselves, therefore, our mind sending a particular stream through the channel of the eyes connects also with the colors that clearly emanate from the opaque surfaces around us, which too are a granting of our grace. Just as the colors of many different varying natures of light appear within us, so also because she is the very one, the principle of beauty. Similarly, she manifests her colors through all the objects. But the material objects are too opaque to show, to exhibit all of her colors. Whatever little emanates through the last vestiges of transparency that remains in the objects, our mind's light flowing through the stream, through the eyes, connects with those. So we recognize those colors. Similarly, we recognize the colors in the personalities of others as similar to the colors of our personality, and are drawn to them and are attracted to them. The color is attracted to color. That is, wavelength of light in me is attracted to the wavelength of light in you. However opaque we have made of our personalities, yet some color shows through. And the pulses of that colorful light become our acts. The pulses of that colorful light in us become our acts. Because the pulses are transmitted through the cells and the muscles and the active senses. The acts that we, of others that we perceive are quite opaque, but they are all we have available at present at our disposal to be able to get into somebody. So the principle of coloring and the principle of attraction is one and the same principle. And that principle is expressed by the sound R in the word bharga. So the principle of coloring and the principle of attraction is one and the same principle. And that principle is expressed by the sound R in the word bharga. Okay? Clear? And the word ga, the sound ga in the word bharga. This is just one word. Bharga, divided into three different sounds, which we are explaining. people ask me, why are the mantras in Sanskrit? But the explanation I am giving you, if a Sanskrit grammarian was present, he would actually behead me. That doesn't fit with the principles of grammar at all. This is quite beyond grammar. This only has to do with the value of sound. And I'm telling you, the values inherent in the sounds of the Gayatri mantra. I cannot do it all of them, 1 or 2 words I'm spending a little bit more time than others. Many of the words must still remain opaque, but 1 or 2 words at least we should get into. Ga. The sound Ga in the mantra means knowing, going, attaining. Knowing, going, attaining. There is a principle in Sanskrit grammar that all the verbs of going have this threefold meaning. Again, change your outlook to the verbs that express any motion. Any verbs of motion in the Sanskrit language have a threefold meaning. Knowing first, going, moving, progressing second, and attaining, grasping, holding, achieving third. Because you know, therefore you move towards it. Thereby you make progress. The progress, if you move without knowing, there is no progress. Only through knowledge, only in the movement through knowledge there is progress. Otherwise, where are you going? I don't know. That is why we are so confused in life, because we don't know where we are going. The word goal in English language, actually that ga in the word goal and the ga in the verb to go is from the same verb. You must know the goal, then you move towards the goal, then you attain the goal, and all of these 3 thoughts are inherent in the word goal. Alright? So that principle of light, which we must know and recognize, that principle of illumination, beauty, attractiveness, and color of all the lights, which ultimately becomes the crystal color, which we must acknowledge first. Know, acknowledge, knowledge, acknowledge, knowledge, know, which we must first